Listen, I ain't ducking no smoke from nobody. I'm outside, nigga, like where y'all at. But check this out. We did enough of that ignorant shit. Let's get back onto some business shit. Then we gonna get back to the foolishness and the chicanery and all of that. All right, the number one expense most people gonna face in life is your expense for the place that you gonna live. You know, and most of the time, people end up paying um, 2.5, 2.6% of what the purchase price of their home is through mortgages and through all of that. You wind up paying so much in interest. What's going on, Pretty Eyes 81? You wind up paying so much in interest that it really don't be worth, you really, by dragging the mortgage out for 30 years, what's going on? Happy Valentine's Day to you all, 100. Listen, by paying your mortgage off 1 month at a time over the course of 30 years, you wind up losing a lot of money. But what if there was a way that you could pay your mortgage off faster while also keeping money? Okay. So, number one thing is, man, a lot of home mortgages, specifically for a lot of black folks who are low income or you just have medium day-to-day jobs, a lot of these mortgages are backed by the FHA. Okay, the FHA is the Federal Housing Authority, um, but a lot of loans are backed by them. All right, now, when you go and calculate out a mortgage and things like that, your mortgage, let me sit up a little bit so y'all can better see me. Your mortgage is factored around what they call a DTI or a debt to income ratio, meaning for so much debt, you have to have so much income. All right, so it's automatically set up to know how much you can afford to pay, right? And they leave you room. But listen, a lot of people, they eat out a lot, they go out, they take trips and stuff like that. What I'm proposing to you is, man, postpone your trips for 7 years, okay? For 7 years. When you get your tax income money, okay, you can, if you really want to build your credit to where you're getting good interest rates and stuff all the time, take your tax refund, get a secured credit card with Discover, Navy Federal, something like that if you could get into it. Say, hey, I got $18,000 back on my taxes. I want to get a credit card with this $18,000. All right, you give them the $18,000. Long as you make the minimum payment on time for 6 months, at the end of that 6 months, they'll give you your 18 grand back. All right. Now, once you get that $18,000 back, you take that money, dump that money into your mortgage. Okay. So you're going to eliminate a lot of your interest just by dumping your tax refund money into your mortgage. And you can continue to play this game year after year after year. So if you got a house that's worth $120,000 and you get $18,000 back for a tax refund, then the next step that you need to do is take that money, dump that into your mortgage. Now, listen, over the course of a year, you would have been in paid roughly about 2 grand down year one, year two. In your first couple years of a mortgage, you mainly paying towards interest. That's why when folks get foreclosed on, they be owing so much money because they ain't even really started eating into the principal yet. any money that you apply over your mortgage payment, if you tell them, they'll put it in an escrow account until it's a full payment. But what you want to do is let's say you got a $700 mortgage payment, put towards your mortgage payment, so pay $1,000 a month. Now, if you work a regular 9-to-5 job, what's going on, Queen E? If you work a regular 9-to-5 job and you got a 401k distribution, a lot of people start putting 401k. They only gonna match. They only gonna put the amount up that the company is gonna match. Don't do that. Listen. When people go to gamble, or people try to play the stock market, people try to day trade and shit like that, they are looking to get 40 and 50% returns. But anybody that's ever done any accounting courses and things like that, you need to, that, profit, like pure profit, generally ranges from anywhere from about 7 to about 13% of the gross revenue that a company is doing. Meaning that if I make $1 million, okay, about $70,000 of that is actually profit, right? That's actually money that I have left over. It's called retained earnings, right? So that's 7%. If you're doing 13%, then you got about $130,000 left over after all your expenses, after running $1 million through your bank account. Now, since that $130,000 is earned income, anything over about $75,000, $75,000 to $81,000, I would have to check to make sure that I'm being accurate as possible. But you will be taxed at the 24% clip once anything that you have is over about $75,000 to $81,000. Now, what does this mean? This means that at your job, okay, you want to eliminate your amount of taxable income down to up under $70,000, so that you are your tax obligation is at the lower percentiles. All right. So you only want your taxes and shit to be, you don't want to be taxed at 24%. I'm gonna tell you that straight off the bat. Okay. So now when you do your 401k, and a lot of HR people at your jobs, a lot of these folks, they don't teach you these methods, but I'm going to teach you what Dr. Claude Anderson calls powernomics. Okay, you go and do a Roth IRA. Okay, when they ask what type of 401k distribution you want, or if you work for a non-for-profit, it'll be a 403b. Now, when they ask you what type of 401k disbursement you want to do a Roth IRA, meaning that you are already somewhat taxed on the money. So anytime after that, if you want to take the money, you want to borrow the money, you want to do anything with it, once you deduct money from your 401k, your 403b, then it's already been taxed, okay? You already received your tax penalty when you were deferring it, okay? Now, your 401k distribution should be at 13%, all right? Your 401k distribution, I will say again, it should be at 13%, because although you have tax ramifications when you transfer your money into a Roth IRA, once you want to go back and do something with the money, they can't tax you again on that money. Now, if you have a job, right? If you have a job and you are making any type of money, right? And your house is in your name, right? Let me add that part in. When they calculated and factored your house, they're not gonna give you a mortgage that you cannot use this trick in. Okay, they got fancy calculators and all of that shit. They not gonna give you a mortgage that you can't afford to pay and use this trick with. So now, once you take your 401k money, after about 7 to 10 years at 13%, you should have been able to amass enough money to pay off the balance of your mortgage. Okay? Now, once you begin to pay off the balance of your mortgage, or you pay off your mortgage, now you keep working your job, you keep doing whatever you have to do, but you have that out of the way. Now, the next thing that you start to do, once you have your mortgage paid off, is you still set that 13% aside, and you go to look at distressed property. Okay? You look at distressed property. What does distressed property mean? They lost it in a foreclosure. It's being short sold by the bank. Hey, this house, it may have had, it might have had a hailstorm. It might have wind damage. Okay. Then you say, all right, I'm looking at this house. It appears to be cool. It appears to be cool. You get you a carpenter friend, y'all go through there, look at it. And once you check it out, it's going to be real easy to tell whether or not it's something you should invest some money in, or if it's something that you should shy away from. With that being said, you look at the property and you buy you a couple of properties, all right? Now, when you buy these distressed properties, as a general rule of thumb, property is always going to inflate, okay, or grow in value, especially over time. But the properties that you should buy is, you want to try to buy commercial properties. If you buying residential properties, you want to buy multi-tenant units, duplexes, apartment buildings, things like that. Once you start to buy these type of properties, all right, then if you come in, you pay $40,000 for a property that's worth $210,000, you could always go back to the bank and refinance your house, right? You say, hey, I own this house free and clear. I want to refinance it. Once you refinance the property, you get the full $210,000 that the property is worth. Once you get that $210,000 that property is worth, you made $170,000 profit minus, minus whatever you had to get the property into. Now, with that $210,000 mortgage, you charge your tenants that in rent. And that, my friends, that's how you prevent yourself from being homeless like the silverback gorilla. But you also get your weight up that way. So, that being said, hey, these are the breaks. All right. These are the tips and tricks that, I have used to pay my mortgage off, to move money around, to, get a nest egg in the game, to be able to, power up. These are the tips and tricks that I have employed over the years, okay? This is why I will never be homeless like the silverback gorilla. All right? Is there any questions, thoughts, concerns, opinions? Did I fully explain it? Do you understand it? Okay. I am judging by the lack of response, that there is no objections. So that being said, happy Valentine's Day to everybody. And they say hot rod in the house. What's going on, hot rod? What's going on? I ain't seen him in a month of Sundays. What's going on, big dog? What's going on with you? Okay, well, listen. Y'all can watch the replay. Y'all can run it back. But that was my show for the morning. We'll be back into the bullshit later. You be in St. Louis? All right, well, shit, just hit me up, nigga. I'm gonna be here. I ain't going nowhere. I don't duck no smoke, man. When you come out here, shit, uh, my number in the community chat, shit, use that number to get in touch with me. Shit, I'll show you around this motherfucker, man. You feel me? I'll show you the best parts of St. Louis. You know what I mean? Shit. So yeah, man, just hit me up, man. That's my number right there on the chat. And shit, man, I'll get up with you. Peace.